going on. Carter seeming to have a little bit of an edge, but he's certainly been impressed with what he's seen from Moxham.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one tonight. We'll see what happens with the matchup, obviously. Huge opportunity and a huge evening for Mercyhurst making their Division I debut. And we'll see the Lakers all in green playing from left to right. The Panthers all in white going from right to left on your TV screen. I think for Pitt, the most critical thing is you can't have a letdown tonight after beating Georgetown at home in the season opener. It's going to be really important that they put in a good accounting of themselves. They cannot take their opponent lightly just because perhaps they're a lesser well-known institution. Mercyhurst has some real talent, especially attacking firepower, so we'll see if they're able to get themselves on the board tonight. And they've been known for stingy defense the last few years. 15 goals conceded last year, but only 6 goals conceded in 2022. So they're well coached and disciplined, and we'll see if they're able to execute their game plan this evening.
Mentioned the head coach for Mercyhurst, Austin Solomon, in his 2nd season, but 11th season on staff. He spent really the last 15 years of his life wearing the green for Mercyhurst. He was there as a player from 2009 to 2012 and has been on staff ever since, now as the head coach of the Lakers.
He's an Erie institution at this point. Really had been a part of and continued a ton of success up there on East 38th Street in Erie, running a fine program and continues to take them from strength to strength. They'll be excited about this matchup tonight. Debut as a Division I program, picked 5th in the NEC for the season, so tremendous respect right off the bat, the former PSAC team.
So 14-3 in 1 year last year for Mercyhurst, and for Pitt it was a 6-7-4 season. They snuck into the NCAA tournament. David, I think you and I both were not quite at ease on selection day. Not sure if the Panthers would hear their name called, but ended up getting in. Lost on this field to James Madison in the 1st round, and that's especially why it was good to see the performance they had Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean, last year they played the toughest schedule in the country. You know, was their record exactly what they wanted to be? No, but thought they engaged in a lot of tough contests and really left themselves out there. Just lacked a little bit of scoring power, lacked a little bit of experience to close games out, got punished for some mistakes. So those are all things coming into this season that they're looking to improve upon. Definitely trying to be stronger from the back to the front. You see that they've brought in a number of strong players, new players, experienced players, a good mix to really help them get back to the more dominant ways of the last 5 years.
And of course it was Jay Vidovich who brought on that dominance for Pitt. Before his arrival here, Pitt had never won an ACC game. In fact, they went 38 consecutive conference battles without a victory. And it was 2017. Vidovich led Pitt to its first ever conference win as ACC members. Of course, he came over from Wake Forest, won a national championship there. And it didn't come instantly for Vidovich here at Pitt. First 3 seasons, they had just 4 total ACC wins. And in Vidovich's last 5 years, 23 ACC wins in total. The shift and the turnaround that he has brought on the program has been well documented, but extremely impressive.
Yeah, he's just a legend, and he's really been able to institute his stamp on this program, be able to grow it leaps and bounds. And now they're a perennial power.
Excellent ball off a tough angle from Grenning. Feitosa with it. Mercado.
We know Pitt will want to possess the ball. We'll see how they're able to move it around, how they're able to create goal-scoring opportunities in the final third. They'll be looking to stretch Mercyhurst out and give them some different looks.
Collegiate debut as well for Daniel Gamboa Gonzalez, number 4 in white for the Panthers. One of 2 freshmen on that Panther back line, with Nicholas Sorensen to his left, who receives it here. Thorson. Svenby. And free ball in the air. Sam Cow had his jersey grabbed. Feitosa. Villamajana has a strike. Feitosa with 4 Lakers on him. And falls back to Mercado.
Yeah, a lot of green shirts back there trying to jam up the Panthers. Not surprising in that sense. They're going to have to play a tight game. They're going to have to really work to cut off the passing channels and disrupt the Panthers, not only in possession, but some of their close passes. We'll see what they're able to get going the other way. Pitt really looked dangerous on the wings the other night. Grenning down this left-hand side was doing a great job driving at defenders. Over on the right-hand side, I was impressed by Svenby and Thorson combining a lot. Svenby was able to get real high and create overload down the right-hand side. So we'll see if those are some of the things that Pitt goes back to again tonight. They've also got, you know, a riches of talent through the middle. In particular, Guillaume Feitosa, number 10 there, playing attack and centre midfield, real danger. And Sam Cow up top is just a workhorse. So we'll see if he's able to add to his goal from Thursday night against Georgetown.
Good to see Sam Cow get that goal on Thursday. He had a hot start last season, 6 goals in his first 6 games, but he did not score at all in his final 7 games. The last time Sam Cow had scored a goal in an official game prior to last night was on September 22nd last season. So once again off to a hot start. Jay Vidovich will want him to carry it through for the duration of the year. Here's Thorson, back Svenby, and saved by Mercyhurst. On Rubia Delgado, the keeper for the Lakers tonight. Panthers try over the top.
Mercyhurst has a pretty diverse roster themselves. I see, you know, some Spaniards, Austrian, Australia, Brazil, Guam, Malaysia, and England all represented in that starting lineup. So good mix of global talent on the field. David Kohler at left back. Sorry, right back. Olmsted Falls, Ohio looks to be the sole representative from the USA.
Svenby gets up ahead here, and a sliding tackle made in the back by Murpchich. And ruled a goal kick. Svenby thought otherwise.
There you see Svenby getting up the pitch, causing problems at the back there.
Does it give you any Jasper Loffelson vibes?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see. I mean, it's really was getting up high. First game of the season, I watched Pitt play a preseason game against Maryland. And he's been consistent in that approach, being able to get up the field. He's a Dayton transfer, played 2 seasons at Dayton, and looks to be a real asset for this Panther squad.
And Loffelson, of course, if you're new to Pitt men's soccer, right back from a few years ago, was a critical piece in getting Pitt recognized on the national stage, making those deep runs in the NCAA tournament.
One surprise for me tonight on the Panther side, no Jackson Gilman in the lineup. He was suspended for the first game of the season following a red card in the finale last season, but I thought we might see him tonight, and maybe we will see him, but he did not start the game. Normally a centre back for Pitt.
Thorson's cross, Sam Cow keeps it in and corralled by Onrubia Delgado. That's a good point, David. You and I were chatting a little bit before the game. The back line for Pitt almost getting a little bit crowded. We're not sure what faces we will see settle in there as the season goes on, but you've got 2 impressive freshmen in Sorensen and Gamboa Gonzalez. Obviously, we've been impressed by Casper Svenby. Michael Sullivan has gotten time in the back, and so you kind of wonder, once everybody is healthy and available, what four faces we might see consistently there.
Yeah, and I mean, consistency is obviously the key, but also depth is critical to the success of any team. And so, you know, that's the job of the coaches, is to try get the chemistry right, the combinations right. Sometimes you're riding the hot hand. I think maybe at the back you're just looking for that consistent approach, and perhaps that's one of the reasons Sullivan's earned a second start, was due to his strong game against Georgetown on Thursday.
Michael Sullivan, versatile player for the Panthers, and always seems to find the goal in the moments when it matters most. He's had 5 career goals in his time as a Pitt Panther, and 3 of those have come in postseason games. I've seen him in a variety of different positions. Attacking midfielder, more defensive midfielder. Now we see him all the way back as a center back in the early portion of this season.
Mercyhurst looking to disrupt there. It was Dylan Sumner committing the foul, but you can see that's got to be part of their approach, is to just try to disrupt the Panthers, disrupt their passing patterns. Sumner probably got a little bit of extra juice today. The Manchester lad, excited by the news that Oasis are reuniting for a summer tour next year.
I always depend on you to bring the musical references into our broadcasts here.
I know I woke up with a smile on my face today.
Well, it was right around this time last year that we were calling a game and you were missing Duran Duran.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Do you regret that decision?
Oh, absolutely not.
That was a good game. Pitt and Wake Forest, I think, right?
No, it's never a decision to make. You know, when you got the opportunity to work with our crew and call a Pitt game, that's going to win 100% of the time. Duran Duran probably got 17 more tours in my lifetime coming.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
Grenning went in too hard there on the tackle.
See what the ref's doing there. It looked like he was having a solid think about whether or not he wanted to give a card there. I didn't think it was that harsh of a foul, and so it's good referee in there. Just take a second, have a little chat. Grenning, we know he gets after it. We saw that the other night. Nice move by the defender. Grenning leaves his leg in there a little bit late.
Panthers applying pressure now, and Thorson tries to win the race to the ball, but once again ends up back with Gonzalo Onrubia Delgado.
Yeah, we know that's going to be a focus for the Panthers tonight too, is winning the ball back when they lose possession. Really critical to their game plan for this season. I know they worked on it a lot in the preseason, and obviously with a number of new players on the squad, it's a point of emphasis for the coaching staff.
Thought it was interesting when we talked to Jay Vidovich, asked him a question about style and what he hopes to achieve in terms of his team's mood and style throughout the season. And he said, well, if you put the last 4 years together, you probably have a pretty good synopsis of what it looks like. But mentioned that last year they did not do as good a job of possessing and controlling the game as they had maybe in the previous couple seasons.
Yeah, I think that was just due to the fact that they graduated so many good players. Many of them moved on to the pros. But, you know, Coach Vidovich wants to get his team back to that style piece. I remember him telling me once before, he's into style, not fashion. That quote always stuck with me. And, you know, I think last year they were just a bit short on the pieces necessary to create that style or consistently play with that style. And so I think you've seen sort of a slight shift in the recruiting efforts to be able to bring in players that are going to fit that style a little bit more just solidly for this season. More Scandinavian players we've seen on the roster, a few more Spaniards on the roster. Some good local talent also has been picked up, and so there's a real drive by Pitt to continue to build on that foundation, implement their style, play with that effect, and do it consistently throughout the course of the season and in each game.
6 wins last year for Pitt. That's the fewest by the program since 2016. And of course, a lot of the reason for that, the change in the overtime rules, Jay Vidovich mentioned that this is a Pitt team that drew 4 games last year. So obviously, if you have the opportunity to play overtime in the regular season, things could have gone differently, as Mercyhurst forced to defend. And collision there with Sam Cow. Looked like it was last off a Mercyhurst head, but yes, it is. Panther corner.
Yeah, the AR has given that corner and sort of stood his ground with the ref to make sure he's being heard, so to speak. Sam Cow, I thought, had a little bit of space in the box there, but Mercyhurst was able to close him down quickly and defend the play. Now the Panthers will have their first set-piece effort of the day. Crowd in that 6-yard box. Look at that.
Corner will be taken by left-footed freshman Nicholas Sorensen.
Now, Pitt's got to be careful here not to concede a free kick. You see it a lot where you are crowding out the keeper or defenders, and sometimes the ref just blows it and gives a free kick coming out. We'll see if everyone's able to behave themselves while still mixing it up. No, clearly not.
Center official having a word with Louis Samkow. 15 minutes in, still awaiting our first goal of the night, but possession has been all Pittsburgh. See if we can figure out what happened here. Yep, so Samkow does in fact shove the Mercyhurst defender.
Who saw that coming?
I remember somebody saying, got to be careful not to concede a free kick. And at last, corner coming in from Sorensen, swings in and punched away by Onrubia Delgado.
Yeah, good stuff by the goalie there. So where he earns his keep, plays like that. It's good defending from the young keeper.
So got word that Louis Samkow did in fact receive a yellow card for unsporting. The jostling inside the 6-yard mark there. That was the first corner kick of the night. Now a long ball to Grenning. Wonderful touch, but loses it. Well done by Mercyhurst to get back.
Can hear Sullivan down there from the centre-back position, directing his teammates to defensive positions, making sure that all the attacking players are accounted for. Good communication across that back line for Pitt.
How would you assess his performance there Thursday?
Flawless, you know, solid.
Yeah.
However you want to say it. I mean, I had no point of fault whatsoever. I thought that he was extremely accountable. So really good effort there. We'll see if that's a position that he sticks with for the season. If he continues to play all around the pitch, we will see what people have in store. But he's not doing himself any harm. I know that. But I think going back to last season, Jay, that was sort of one of the things that led to Pitt having not having the type of season they wanted. Was while they had moments in games and periods of games where they played their style, played the game they wanted, I don't remember seeing them do it for 90 minutes very often, you know, and
right.
there was often mistakes or flaws or you know, obviously injuries as well, which prevented them finding that consistency and doing it for 90 minutes. But I think that's something that they've really looked to address moving into this season, and I think we'll see more consistent performances based on what I've seen so far from this team.
Yeah, Cabral Carter only had to make 2 saves in goal for Pitt on Thursday night. A testament to his team's ability to control the game, possess, really keep Georgetown away from the box and any scoring opportunities. It was an impressive display from Pitt.
Nice tackle there by Ganser.
Mercado out wide for Svenby. A 1-2 to Thorson, but poorly executed and out of play.
Yeah, they didn't pull it off that time, but you see Svenby's all the way up there in sort of like right wing position. He's able to work or look to work with Thorson. Pitt sort of slides that full back up and goes 3 at the back for those moments. Helps to create an overload, which Mercyhurst has to find the answer for.
Mentioned Jack Moxham getting the first start of his career. Likely won't be a busy one if the remaining 70 minutes are anything like the first 20.
Yeah, you've always got to be ready, though. And you mentioned even with Carter the other night, I mean, he made 2 or 3 big saves, and maybe he wasn't called upon that much. But when he was called upon, he was able to come up with the answer, protect the net. And so for Moxham, you know, it's entirely likely Mercyhurst is going to have some chances tonight, and he'll have to be ready for action when called upon. Moxham, the FC Cincinnati Academy man. I know he was training with them over the summertime. I think he's originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but he's had a bright summer and really given the Pitt coaching staff a lot to think about at that goalkeeper position.
Moxham is a year behind Carter. Carter a junior, Moxham a sophomore. So if he does stay with the Panthers throughout his collegiate career, expect that he'll at least get a nod at some point, if nothing else, for his final season in his senior year. Jay Vidovich crediting his consistency, excellent understanding of the game, and like you mentioned, making it a difficult decision perhaps at times as to who to put between the posts, Moxham or the junior Carter.
And that's what you want out of your squad, is you want your team, you know, your team pushing each other and training hard and keeping the expectation level high.
Carter faced 7 shots in the game Thursday night. Was the only keeper that Pitt used a season ago.
Nice work by Grennan there, come back and win the ball. And I think this might well be a yellow for 11. That's the second time he's been pulling the shirt of an opponent, but the ref looks like he's going to let it go.
David, get the sense that Mercyhurst first game as a Division I program, part of the game plan, maybe come in, fluster the Panthers, or do your best to do that. Cause chaos at times. Very physical effort from a lot of the Lakers here in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's got to be part of their game plan. I mean, Pitt, a very skillful team, moves the ball quick. And for the Lakers, you're going to want to disrupt that. And you think about it, we're already 21 minutes in, almost a quarter of the way through the game, and it's 0-0, so that's exactly what they want. The longer they can keep Pitt off the score sheet, the tighter it's going to get. And the referee might have his hands full throughout this contest to make sure that it is cleanly contested.
About 35 yards out on the free kick, looking for Sullivan, headed on and headed in. But the offside flag is up.
It was
Sullivan, yep, go ahead, David.
Sam Cowell with the final touch, but he was in offside position. Feitosa asking the referee to look at a replay to confirm that decision.
So here we go to video review at the 22:40 mark.
I mean, I just want to give a nod to Feitosa there, asking the ref to take a look at it. I mean, that is heads-up captaining. Sullivan with the header across. Sam Cowell heads it in. Sam Cowell definitely did not think he was offside.
And there's no way it could have been Sullivan, right? Because you wouldn't think he would have been off on the initial kick.
It's possible. I mean, who knows? But I love the work by Feitosa to get the ref to look at it. I mean, not only is the ref compliant in going to look at it, but also look, they get a nice little drinks break, nice little timeout. Coach gets a minute to talk to his guys, make some adjustments. So I just really like that. Even if the decision continues to go against you and the goal's not given, you've still bought your team a timeout. And so I really like that in terms of Feitosa having a chat with the ref and being able to get him to go have a look at it. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if that goal stands.
It kind of looked like Sam Cow was behind Sullivan. Of course, if the ball was played backward, then the goal should have been allowed.
So this is definitely Mercyhurst's first ever video review situation at the D1 level.
That's right.
So we're just seeing history upon history this evening. They might not have even known that video was available for this game. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, so you can't see Sullivan there, but let's see at least if Sam Cow is behind Sullivan here when the ball comes off his head.
Well, I think that's a good call, Jay, because you look, that ball's right around the top of the 6-yard box.
So we're hearing the call is confirmed. It is offside, but I gotta say, from the look we see there, it does not look to me like Sam Cow is in front of Sullivan at the time that contact was made. But what do you think?
I mean, maybe the ref's just not comfortable making that call because he doesn't feel like he has an angle on the AR. Offside. There you go.
Yeah.
But
right,
like I said,
continue.
you know, if you're Pitt, you got a timeout out of the situation, and we'll see if a few of their coaches' instructions will make an impact in terms of what they do the next 5 minutes or so. For Mercyhurst, potentially the same opportunity. You know, maybe there's some instruction there about breaking Pitt's lines, or, you know, holding on to the ball a bit longer, or a target man to look for.
Grenning. Well, despite the offside, Panthers certainly knocking on the door. Just over 23 minutes in, 2 official shots recorded by the Panthers, one of those on goal.
Kohler did a good job down there defending Grenning. I'm sure that Mercyhurst was watching the Pitt-Georgetown game the other night, and that was a point of emphasis coming in. Looks like the Pitt coaching staff is preparing some substitutions. Not sure if Mercyhurst is that advanced with their changes at this point, but it looks like Pitt will be making some, and we'll get some fresh legs on here for the Panthers, and so they will be able to give Mercyhurst some different looks other than what they've seen the first 25 minutes or so.
And if this is your first college men's soccer game that you're tuning into this season, some substitution changes cannot re-enter in either half. So if you leave in the first, have to wait till the second to return, and if you leave for the second, that is the end of your day. Panthers used a total of 14 players in the win over Georgetown on Thursday.
It was interesting to see how the coaching staffs managed their rosters and their substitutions a little bit differently based on those new rules. That no re-entry in the second half forces you to make some different decisions. Looks like Jackson Gilman is going to be one of the players coming on the pitch.
So this is now the first real time we've seen all match with Mercyhurst able to string some passes together inside Pitt's half. Sorensen had thought he saved it. Looked like it was on the line to me. Mercyhurst gets the call. Mentioned Gilman. Looks like Miguel Bertrand over there alongside Coach Jay Vidovich.
Real grind in the midfield right now. Both teams really being disruptive, not really allowing teams to get comfortable on the ball. Mercyhurst having a bit more time with the ball, a little bit more possession, a little bit more opportunity to build for themselves, generate some attacking plays. And they've done very well, you know, first collegiate game at the D1 level against a team like Pitt away from home.
Have to think Austin Solomon's pretty content. 27th minute, 0-0.
I mean, I don't know that any soccer coach is ever very content, but yeah, I mean, I'd be I'd be fairly happy with where they are at this point in the game. I think he's a native of Honduras. Like you'd mentioned, he's been with Mercyhurst for a better part of 15 years.
So some substitutions now for Pitt. Grenning comes off with Mercado and Svenby. So that's going to slide Michael Sullivan now out to the right back position. So not sure if he's been there before, David, but I think he is adding one more spot onto his growing list of different roles that he's played for Pitt.
I was wondering if we might see Gilman play the right back slot.
Right.
Also, I see Feitosa's dropped back to more pure centre midfield, number 8, and Bertrand's playing the number 10 position. So a few adjustments there. I'm excited about Bertrand coming on because now all 3 Spanish players are on the field, and I've been looking to coin them as the 3 amigos. So this is our first look at the 3 amigos this season, all out there together through the middle of the field from back to front.
Bertrand joined by Villamajana and Gamboa Gonzalez, of course. And Moxham's first touch of the night. Is that right?
I think
first
touch with his hands, yeah. But again, that's another sign of progress for Mercyhurst, you know, being able to get an effort towards the goal. They've been building towards that, been strong at the back throughout this contest so far, and now looking to expand a bit further forward, finding their feet through the midfield, continuing to disrupt, and you know the pressure continues to be on Pitt to get themselves on the score sheet, to buy themselves a bit of breathing room, so to speak. Dahl playing the left-hand side now, as you mentioned. He was really bright against Georgetown as well, so they'll be looking to see if they can spread the ball over here to the left-hand side and find something to break loose. Bertrand will be getting a more extended look this evening, and so he'll be looking to show some of his dynamic play.
Thorson threading the needle to Sullivan, who makes a run forward and loses possession.
Just that it took off his foot before he was able to find that final ball. The Lakers waiting for reinforcements to come up and support. That's the dangers of this game, as you start to get your legs going forward, and that's exactly when you get caught out at the back, and so Mercyhurst have to be very careful there.
A bad touch there from Cleary. Sam Cow tried to take advantage, but won back by Mercyhurst.
That's Hale getting forward now. little bit more space out there for all the players. Game spreading out a little bit.
Feitosa to Sullivan. Notice Feitosa and Gilman wearing the armband for Pitt. Those are the two captains this year for the Panthers, as Gilman makes his first appearance of the season here. Sorensen, left-footed ball in, got past Sam Cow and corralled once again by Onrubia Delgado.
Sam Cow couldn't control the ball in the box there. It was a dangerous ball in, but just kind of got under his feet a bit.
Lassadal with the challenge in the near corner here, rewarded with a foul call from the official. Panthers once again in a threatening position.
Pitt's traditionally been quite dangerous from set-piece situations. Free kicks around the box, corners. You saw the pressure they put on Mercyhurst with the earlier corner play. The goal that was disallowed for offside came from a free kick. So you know they've got some tricks up their sleeve.
Feitosa and Sorensen behind the ball. Sorensen will hit with the left and cleared away by Mercyhurst. And one back by Bertrand and the Panthers. Another cross in. Well done on the clearance by Cleary. And a nice move here by Felipe Santos. Silva. Long cross in and nobody there.
Ball stays in. That's the second time in the last few minutes Mercyhurst has been able to get up into the final third, but hasn't really had the support there to be able to generate a goal-scoring opportunity. They really remain focused on defending at the back and keeping the Panthers away from their goal.
Sam Cow, and cleared again by Onrubia Delgado. Thought surely the Panthers were going to have their first goal.
Yeah, it looked like Sam Cow received a little bit of a tug to kind of break up his momentum. Not enough to give a foul, but certainly enough to disrupt. Just sort of lost his balance a bit, it looked like. I think the Panthers have just struggled a little bit with that final ball in terms of pulling Mercyhurst apart enough to be effective in front of net. Mercyhurst again blocking up the passing lanes, breaking up the channels, not really letting Pitt execute into their penalty area. Lakers playing a very disciplined game.
Dahl beats the defender. Deflected out for a corner kick. Pitt's second of the night. Did not expect it to be 0-0 at halftime. Panthers have 10 minutes to change that here. Now Mercyhurst will make its first substitution of the night. Ignacio Gallego from Madrid steps in for Alvar Silva.
Silva mixed it up throughout his run in the first half. Definitely disruptive.
Corner on the ground from Feitosa. Dahl turns and hits and blocked by the pressure from Mercyhurst.
There's just a green wall at the back there, fighting that corner away. Referee stopping the clock. We'll see if another card's going to be issued.
David, looks like Dahl and Thorson just switched sides.
Yeah, we saw that in the Georgetown game also. I think just probing Mercyhurst, seeing if they can give him some different looks. Thorson comfortable at any position across the top. All four of those attacking positions. Coaching staff looking to really mix up the matchup, see if they can jar something loose. I'm assuming it was the coaching staff. Sometimes guys just agree on their own to try out a different run, a different look for a bit. Maybe Thorson's frustrated a bit on the right-hand side. Sometimes there's more favorable matchups. I mean, you got Sullivan up on the attacking line right now as a right back. Dahl all the way out there on the far touchline.
Yep, you said it, definitely throwing some different looks here at Mercyhurst. Almost at times has looked more of like a three-back formation.
Mercyhurst has just been very disciplined up to this point, defending their box, keeping the Panthers at bay. Pitt's definitely comfortable switching the ball from side to side, the switch and the reverse switch in effect. They're patient in their approach, but again, frustrated by Mercyhurst at this point.
Filamajana out wide, Dahl controls. Feitosa. Long cross, far post, headed away, but Feitosa's cross out over the goal line. Credit to Mercyhurst through 38 minutes, only 3 official shots recorded by the Panthers. Lakers doing a good job of keeping them at bay, and there's no doubt who's controlled possession, but David, no great chances from Pitt. Really the most threatening, probably the one that went in the net, got called back due to offside.
Yeah, they've definitely been frustrated. I mean, they haven't shown frustration in that sense, but they are definitely being thwarted in their attacking intent. Mercyhurst consistently been getting 8 guys back behind the ball. And that's tough, you know. I mean, that's tough, and obviously that's the game plan, you know, is get out for Mercyhurst. They're looking to get out of here with a 1-0 win, you know, defend, absorb the pressure, bend but don't break, and see where you can have an opportunity. You know, you win a free kick or get a corner down the other end and look to put the ball in the back of the net. You have to figure the longer it goes on at 0-0, the more frustrated Pitt's going to be. And then once you start pushing it and trying more and more, sometimes that's when you make mistakes, or sometimes that's when you just aren't able to find that rhythm or that chemistry that you're so desperately looking for.
So Gallego with the fresh legs, a lot of pressure on Moxham there, but Pitt keeper distributes successfully. Gilman, the long ball but too long.
Yeah, it's not working either. So Pitt's going to have to find another way through.
Feitosa. Bertrand squeezes it through back to Feitosa. Kept in play. Bertrand again. Across the far post. Off Thorson and kicked away by Onrubia Delgado. Bertrand draws the foul. Initially, official looked like he wanted to see if Pitt would have an advantage, but now a free kick, going to be just about 23, 24 yards out.
Kohler was getting very handsy there with Bertrand. Referee nixed it. Been using the shaving cream a lot out there tonight. I think Feitosa's eyeing up the top right corner here. We'll see. Short ball.
Dahl earns the corner. Spanish freshman Bertrand, he's got really nice touch.
Yeah, he does. I worry a little bit about his size. You know, he's quick and efficient, but you know, I worry about the beating that players take at the college level. So hopefully he's able to adjust, adapt to the college season. Got to stay healthy to be out there and build. Pitt again packing the 6-yard box.
Feitosa's corner punched away by Onrubia Delgado.
Second time a keeper's made a strong play to punch away after a corner.
Another long ball in, headed for Thorson. Impressive night so far for Onrubia Delgado.
Yeah.
You and I weren't expecting him in goal tonight for Mercyhurst. Jamie Tadaldi started just about every game for them last year, but Gonzalo Onrubia Delgado has looked good in there and kept things at a 0-0 draw thus far.
Do you know how many goalkeepers Mercyhurst has on their roster, Jason?
I believe it was 8.
8 goalkeepers on the roster, so you've got to be pretty good to earn your way to the #1 shirt.
A lot of competition.
A lot of competition. Mercyhurst roster is as big as Chelsea's.
And that includes the academy, right?
Absolutely. So a lot of competition for spaces. They were rolling deep off the bus here tonight. I think I counted 58 players on the Mercyhurst roster. I'm not sure how that breaks down, if they operate like a second team or something and get guys some minutes. I know that was something we used to do at La Roche, was we sort of had a second team that would play scrimmages. Good way to develop young talent. Trouble with that many players is you've got to feed them all, you know, so probably a lot of calls to Paddy's Pizza East up there in Erie. I used to work up there.
I didn't know you were so familiar with the Mercyhurst campus.
Oh yeah, my grandma used to live right behind there.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Used to be up there quite a bit. East 38th Street. They got a nice hockey rink on campus, and you know the place has grown leaps and bounds since when I lived up there. So it's, you know, impressive that they're a Division I institution. I remember it was a big step when they joined the PSAC, and them and Gannon joined the PSAC and did really well in that conference. So it shows the ambition of the institution that they're able to compete at the Division I level and preseason number 5 pick.
Thorson, Panthers nearly trying to beat the buzzer, put into the side of the netting. So David, we'll go to halftime scoreless. Certainly no debate though on who controlled possession in the first 45.
Yeah, but it's nil to see if they can get forward without leaving themselves exposed. For Pitt, the challenge is, can you create these odd man situations? Can you find a way through the lines, break them down? So far, Mercyhurst has bent but not broken. Credit to them, and we'll see if they're able to do that for 45 more minutes.
So once again, Jay Vidovich trying some different things with the lineup in formation. Felipe Mercado in the right back position to start half number 2, and Luis Samkow is off. Looks like some technical difficulties in our stadium here as they are now trying to sort out the clock. Obviously not 90 minutes remaining in the contest. And if you're just joining us, we are in fact just about 30 seconds in to half number 2 here at Ambrose Urbanic Field. Mercado. Feitosa has a hit and a save and a goal for Casper Grenning.
So just like that, Panthers are off the mark. We'll see what's happening here. The ref is stopping the clock, which hasn't started yet, but we'll see what that all means. He's going to have a look at this goal as well. I'm not sure if the AR had his flag up for offside there or not. So lots of questions to be answered.
Yeah, David, at first I thought he was just blowing a whistle to indicate we have to fix the clock, because I didn't think there was an issue with the goal. Now, of course, we'll take a look, see what we hear, but
I mean, theoretically, the ref's got his own watch and is keeping his own time of the game. Grenning was in an offside position there, so it's quite possible that
you're right.
He will be judged offside.
I didn't catch that.
So for the second time tonight, Panthers have put the ball in the back of the net, and the score might still be 0-0.
Bizarre start to the second half. First dealing with the clock not starting here at Ambrose Urbanic Field, and then shortly afterwards, what we think is a goal is once again ruled an offside, and if that is the case, it will be the second time tonight, and it is confirmed. Offside. So for the second time this evening, Pittsburgh puts one in the back of the net, but it is called back, and we stay scoreless.
Yeah, and that was a good call. Ball bounces back to Feitosa right here. Feitosa shot, Grenning's offside.
Yep.
The ball bounces to him, he finishes it well, but it's not going to count. So we're all square again. But that's a good start by Pitt. But for Mercyhurst, it continues the trend of absorbing the pressure and living dangerously, but holding the Panthers off the board. And they will accept that.
So the Pitt Panthers continuing to search for that first goal of the night. Meanwhile, Mercyhurst has found its first corner of the match here.
There you go, and that's progress for the Lakers, and we'll see if they're able to capitalize on it. Different approach in terms of this set piece. Not crowding the 6-yard box the way Pitt has been doing.
It looks like it'll be taken by Dylan Sumner. 24 assists in his 53-game career for Mercyhurst. In swinging right-footed corner, headed by Gamboa Gonzalez, and back to Sumner. Sumner again across in, far post, headed and punched out by Moxham.
Danger in the Pitt penalty area there. Mercyhurst getting a sniff. You won't want to allow them too many opportunities like that.
Probably the most threatening chance we've seen from them today.
For sure, and the ball was kind of bouncing around in the box for a little bit longer than you'd feel comfortable with.
It's a Pitt team that is coming off a 2-0 win over number 16 Georgetown on Thursday night. An excellent performance to start their season, but leaving some things to be desired so far tonight in this one, hosting Mercyhurst. Grenning can't keep the cross in play.
Grenning likes a battle. He was working hard down there by the goal line, looking to pull it back, but he wasn't able to find it. Sort of ran out of gas a little bit. Jay Vidovich scratching his head. I'm sure he's going to want to see him implement halftime adjustments, see how the guys respond, drill down a little bit more clearly on the game plan, find ways to break down Mercyhurst. Mercyhurst seems to be exploring a little bit further and more often into the Pitt half, this second half. And so they'll continue to build and grow in confidence. And Pitt will feel a little bit more pressure with every tick that goes by of the clock.
And you can only feel so comfortable possessing as much as Pitt has. I think to your point, there comes a time on the clock in the match where I think it's easy to get in your own head and start to feel that pressure. Remember, there is no overtime in the regular season, so if by chance we are tied after 90, that's the final result.
Yeah, I think for me, and I've heard it from the coaching staff before, is obviously you want to turn that possession into pressure on the net, but for me, you know, they're doing a good job keeping the ball. They're just not moving it fast enough. It's a little bit predictable, a little bit slow, gives Mercyhurst time to react and adjust. And so for me, Pitt has to play a bit faster.
Feitosa. Mercado.
Speed is such a difference maker in the game of football. You've got to be able to use it to your advantage.
Foul called against Mercyhurst will set up about a 25-yard free kick for the Panthers. It's been Feitosa and Sorensen standing behind each of these opportunities for Pitt. Actually had one in the first half from a very similar spot. Was taken by Sorensen, but nothing doing on it. Wonder if Feitosa might get the chance here. Sorensen again. Ball sent in, and Villamajana had a perfect chance, but headed it over the bar.
Golden opportunity on the head of Arnie V. Wasn't able to turn it into the net.
6'2" frame, he got above everybody.
Yeah, he jostled himself free. Great delivery coming over, just couldn't snap it down. That's a nice set piece opportunity for the Panthers, and they'll be looking to build off that as they move on. But you know, you don't think of Spaniards as dominant in the aerial game, more so with their feet. So he wasn't able to convert that opportunity.
So time continues to tick by. Second half here at Ambrose Urbanic Field. Panthers have had a handful of very close chances now. 2 goals called back due to offside. Keeping things knotted at 0.
Looks like Pitt's almost fully committed to 3 at the back at this point in time. I'm not sure if they have a right back.
Beautiful ball over the top to Grenning on the left wing. Shakes one defender, then dishes out And you're right, seems like a 3-back for Pitt. Thorson with a crafty touch. Sorensen, Gamboa, Gonzalez, and Gilman from left to right on the back right now for the Panthers. Gallego has speed, but Sorensen able to beat him there. And then Gamboa, Gonzalez.
Great wheels on display by Sorensen then. I saw him accelerate. He found another gear to get back and guide that ball to safety. Really nice defensive play.
A well-placed ball to Dahl. Thorson, yes! 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Nice finish by Thorson. I thought he might get it stuck under his feet a bit, but really nice ball across the middle from Dahl to set that up. Nice break down the right-hand side for the Panthers. And Mercyhurst has finally been broken down by this Pitt team, who have converted their possession to a goal. Look at that lovely ball across the top of the 6-yard box. Looks like keeper might have even got a hand on it, but Thorson stayed with it and guided it into the back of the net. Love this cross. It's just somewhere the goalie can't get it. I mean, Thorson almost bumbles it in, but that's what you love to see by a goal scorer. You know, they don't have to be pretty. They just have to get in there. And he does exactly what's needed to be able to put his team up. That's huge, you know, and that's the poise of a striker. Overcomes the challenges, beats the keeper, gets it across the goal line into the back of the net. Lovely ball, lovely cross. Dahl with the assist. And Pitt's up 1-0.
And the Panther fans in attendance at this point in the match probably reluctant to celebrate after the previous two called back due to offside, but we saw a great angle. Albert Thorson clearly in an onside position off the cross from Dahl, and it was a wonderful cross from Lasse Dahl from that right wing that results in Pitt's first goal of the night.
Yeah, man, that's a great point. You watch Premier League, you don't even want to celebrate a goal anymore. You know, you wonder if it's coming back for some, you know.
Could have been an offside from 2 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Premier
you know,
League.
Someone looked at the ref wrong.
Yeah. And speaking of offside, Thorson pretty clearly in an offside position there.
But the Scandinavians in effect again. Dahl from Denmark crosses it over. Thorson from Norway. I've been really impressed by the Scandinavian players that have joined this Pitt team in the last couple years. They got something about them. They get after it, they work hard, and they're fundamentally sound.
Albert Thorson, ACC all-freshman team a season ago.
I really like Thorson, and of course he's played all three positions across the top tonight. He started out the game at right wing, moved to left wing. Now he's playing centre forward with Bertrand tucked in behind him.
I enjoy a story that Jay Vidovich told us previously about Albert Thorson. Said they knew he was versatile, and in the recruiting process, Albert Thorson told them, I can play anywhere, but the closer I get to goal, the happier I'll be.
Yeah. And what position's he playing right now? Number 9, the 9 on his back, rewards his coaches. And that's his second in 2 games. You know, last game with a header. Today gets himself on the end of a cross. And not that Pitt's work is done or the job is finished, but a little bit of breathing room. Mercyhurst had done a tremendous job in terms of frustrating them and holding them off the board. And now we'll see what's going to happen in the last 35 minutes of this game. Is Mercyhurst will and spirit broken? Will they continue to defend resolutely? Can they prevent Pitt from extending their lead?
Another tough challenge That time from Gallego from Mercyhurst. And we will see the yellow card. Been a physical game, especially from Mercyhurst's side, but this now just the first booking against a Mercyhurst player tonight.
And of the fouls that have been committed by Mercyhurst tonight, I'm surprised that that is the first one to draw a yellow. It did look like he maybe slipped a little bit. And that might have been what got him the card. I think this is Gallego's first action. I don't remember seeing him in the first half.
Mercado looking for Dahl on the long switch. Dahl putting his speed on display, cuts around the defender. Thorson heads it and saved, but Thorson in the right spot once again.
Yeah, he did well to get to it. It was whipped in by Dahl, and it was at a bit of an awkward height to really get a good header on it, but he did well to connect with it. And we're seeing the impact of those three Scandinavians in the front three positions. I remember talking to Coach Vidovic last week. He said, I've got, you know, 3 guys for 2 positions, and right now all 3 of them are out there. So shows you the versatility that these guys can give the team.
Dahl, another cross headed out for a corner, and you're exactly right, David. I think Thursday night against Georgetown and tonight, what Lasse Dahl has provided off the bench has been really impressive.
Yeah. And you can see there's good chemistry between he and Thorson as well. Trying to pick him out with the crosses, whipping him in. And again, that's that speed of play, and I'm happy to see it. I think that's been an adjustment that Pitt's made. They've been getting into the Mercyhurst box a little bit quicker, a little bit more intent there. And I think you see they're just turning the screws on the Lakers a little bit now in terms of becoming more dangerous.
Panthers nearly add one more off the corner from Feitosa. A clearance away at the last second by Mercyhurst sets up another corner. Now an 11-1 shots advantage for the Panthers.
I was going to say, and they had just 4 shots in the first half. They've already had 7 here in the second.
Bertrand, wide. Thought we might see them flip a switch coming out for the second half.
Yeah, well, they made adjustments. You know, they've got another attacking player up there. Mercado's kind of been doubling between the back line and holding centre midfield, and so they've created an overload, looking more like a 3-5-2 for this second half. Been able to really push their wingers up. Dahl has made an impact, extending his play in the second half.
And a stoppage here looked like Arnau Villamajana, perhaps with some blood on the jersey. Quickly gets that taken care of, and he's back on the pitch.
Arnie V, one of the 3 amigos.
All still out there.
Yeah. Well, must be some more blood. Oh, he's got to wait for permission to come back in.
And permission granted.
Yeah, you see Bertrand's pushed up, and he's been playing a lot more sort of alongside Thorson at forward position there. And I think just that adjustment's been harder for Mercyhurst to deal with. Caused disruption. Guys not quite sure who to pick up, and again, the pace of play really benefiting Pitt.
Jackson Gilman has not left since entering off the bench in the first half. just about 27 minutes in, made his first appearance of the season. Excellent 1-2, Thorson and Feitosa working together.
Yeah, look at the hustle by Thorson there to keep that play alive.
Dahl now earns another Pittsburgh corner.
Pitt doing a good job of slanting the field on Mercyhurst now, making it harder for them to get out, being a bit more aggressive with their attacks. Talked about the fact that they've got a bit more intent to goal, playing a bit faster, a bit more collaborated. Perhaps calibrated would be a better word. I'm not sure. You have to get my thesaurus out.
I think it worked. Gilman has a hit. Bertrand. Looked like Mercyhurst was calling for a handball.
Ooh. Bit of pinball there.
Offside flag is up. Gallego just a step too early.
I see Gilman celebrating the offside there, so he was extremely excited about the communication across the back line, and Pitt getting high to catch him offside, staying a step above the attacking player to catch him in offside position. That's the kind of weird stuff us defenders get excited about, Jay.
Got to celebrate something.
That's right.
If you're not going to have the chances to score goals.
Yeah, there's an art to catching players offside, especially these days.
The leadership not surprising from Jackson Gilman. I'm sure you can remember even his freshman year.
Yeah.
I think Jay Vidovich talked to us about him being a captain someday, and turned out he earned the armband in just his second season.
Yeah, no surprises, he said. You know, a born leader. Him and Feitosa, the captains of this edition of the Panthers, and you know, he's really been leading by example, really making sure that the team stays on point, helping them eliminate those mistakes that did hurt them last year. And while him and Feitosa wear the armband, they have a whole leadership group. Matei Maufu is part of that, Mike Sullivan, Casper Grenning, Sam Cow. They all help contribute to the overall leadership of this squad of players. And so while a couple may wear the armband in games, you know, it's a group effort to be able to keep everyone on the same page, keep everyone focused, and be dedicated to the team cause. Gamboa Gonzalez back there has been good in his debut as centre back on the left side. Sorensen's been good at left back tonight after playing centre back against Georgetown, so he'll be excited about getting another appearance under his belt. And again, I think it just demonstrates the depth of this 2024 edition of the Panthers. They have, you know, flexibility with their positions that they didn't have before. You see the tactical flexibility on display in terms of making the adjustments and having more interchangeable parts.
Beautiful ball here. Feitosa claims it. Off the bar. Dahl heads it. Saved by Onrubia Delgado, and the Panthers come up empty.
Feitosa not able to convert. I think Thorson was hoping that ball got laid into him, but Feitosa fancied it and took a poke. Pitt maintains possession. It was a great run by Feitosa, so you can see why he wanted to finish it off himself, but Thorson potentially had a better look for the finish. Yeah, you can see there Pitt's offensive dominance in this second half, really looking to turn the screws on Mercyhurst, generating more attacks, more scoring opportunities. Mercyhurst now with a foray into the attacking half. Let's take a look at this goal-scoring opportunity. I think Thorson was just frustrated it didn't go in, actually. Feitosa hitting the crossbar. It was Bertrand hit the crossbar in the Georgetown game, so the Panthers been given the woodwork, a workout.
Multiple goals off the woodwork, multiple goals called back due to offside.
Yeah.
Only 3 goals so far for Pitt on the season, but very nearly 6 or 7.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you want to see, though, because the more you get in that rhythm and the more chances you're creating, the more you're going to convert. But obviously, as things wear on, they're going to want to find that consistently banging them in. But Thorson's got a couple on the year, and he'll continue to grow. You feel good when you put it in the net. Grenning over there, he'll be desperate to get himself on the score sheet. You know Bertrand wants one. You know Feitosa wants one. And so, you know, that stuff's contagious. And the more chances you create, the better chance you got of scoring and finishing one. And so they'll keep looking to create. Pitt with 5 across the top there, you see. Dahl, Thorson, Bertrand, Feitosa, and Grenning.
Now it's Grenning off to the races, but can't quite beat on Rubia Delgado there.
Delgado's done good tonight, made some big plays for his team. Just been beaten the one time officially.
Thorson. Bertrand out to Dahl. Pitt corner once again due to the production from Dahl on the right wing.
Yeah, you got to consider too that it's been extremely hot here tonight, so I'm sure those guys are worn out down there. It was quite mild through the week in Pittsburgh, but this weekend it's definitely turned up the heat.
Now, we had seen Feitosa taking a majority of the corners from this side here in the second half especially, but now Sorensen will give the Panthers an in-swinging ball with the left foot, but not before. Little jabbing inside the 6, Gamboa Gonzalez along with Kolar for Mercyhurst, and center official going to have another word.
Looks like they're comparing 6-packs. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. It's okay. Let's not do it again. Ref having some words. I mean,
I'm saying we've got 22 minutes left. You can compare the 6-packs after the game. And Jay Vidovich surely just saying, can we please just take the corner?
Let's see what happens here. I'm thinking there's a free kick going to get called.
Sorensen's ball very high and long over Gamboa Gonzalez. Well done by Bertrand to keep it in. Pressure from Mercyhurst and ball 1. Gallego now. Can he make something of this?
He's got a sidecar, so that's a good start. I mean, Mercyhurst has been great at the back tonight, to be honest with you. I mean, if they're going to defend from the back to the front like this throughout their season, they're going to put in a good account of themselves. And I think it's just been a great test for them and their club, and they've certainly showed a lot of promise, and we know they've got the attack in the tent.
Yeah, I'm sure if you're Austin Solomon, you enter your first game as a Division I program. You're going up against a team that has made the College Cup twice in the last 4 years. To only trail 1-0 in the 69th minute, you figure not every team in Division I is going to be as talented and as high caliber as these Pitt Panthers, and like you said, have to feel pretty good about their performance thus far.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams do have a history. I think this is the 7th time they've played, and Pitt has a 5-1 edge over the career, but Mercyhurst got the win back in 1982.
That's right, have not been shut out in the series. First meeting since 1985 for these two. Feitosa over the top. Well struck ball from the back line. Gamboa Gonzalez. Feitosa outside for Grenning. Grenning weaving through. Feitosa. Mercado. And another corner.
Nice work by Grenning down the left-hand side there. He was able to juke his man and get by him, provide service into box. But again, the Lakers do an excellent job of breaking up the passing lanes. No clear shots on goal. Lots of bodies behind the ball, making it really hard for the Panthers to find the back of the net. There's that 6-yard box getting packed up again.
In-swinging ball from Feitosa. Looks like a free kick, David.
Shocking. Ref's earned his paycheck tonight.
Nine fouls apiece. Each team tonight.
Yeah, and you see that shot count in the second half, 15-1 in favor of the Panthers.
Mercyhurst, one of its best opportunities it's had here in the second half, but too much on the pass from Conti, and Strub not able to get there.
Conti from Monroeville, so local lad getting an opportunity for Mercyhurst, number 34 over on the right-hand side there. Had some nice wheels on him. He was moving in a hurry and putting Pitt under pressure at the back. Just weren't able to connect to create a goal-scoring opportunity, but game's still only 1-0, and you know there's no overtime, so Mercyhurst again just needs to find one to change the outcome of this game. And while Pitt's had 15 shots in this second half, they only have 1 goal to show for it, and while they have the lead, it hangs in the balance.
Shots tally for the match, by the way, 19-1 in favor of Pitt. Panthers have the 8-1 edge in corners as well. There's a well-struck ball from Grenning to Dahl, who's going to keep it in play here in the near corner. Feitosa. Patient attack from the Panthers. Gilman to Gamboa Gonzalez.
I mean, there's just nowhere to go for Pitt. 9 guys behind the ball, 10 with the goalie for Mercyhurst. It's tough to break down. Big green wall.
And Mercyhurst surely just hoping for any opportunity to form a counterattack. In the meantime, their goal is to keep this deficit at 1 goal. Uneventful night for Jack Moxham.
So far.
17 minutes to go.
He'll be happy to get his first college start under his belt. Hasn't really been tested to this point.
Captain to captain, Gilman to Feitosa. Now Villamajana. Dahl looking for Feitosa.
I like that. Nice ball to space behind the back line. Dahl, I think, has really made a difference down the right-hand side this second half. Different setup for this corner. Panthers in a line, not crowding the 6-yard box as we've seen a number of times.
Outswinger headed towards goal and cleared once again by Mercyhurst. Ryan Murfcheech. And sets up the 10th Pittsburgh corner kick of the night.
Villamijana with the header, much better than the first attempt it had. Second attempt was on target, so take back what I said about Spanish players not being able to head the ball very well. He improved that time around.
I'm sure he appreciates that. Obviously, you didn't watch any Gerard Piqué in your time, David.
Who? Is that Shakira's husband?
That's the one.
Okay, I have heard of him. Sergio Ramos can head a ball.
Carlos Puyol.
There, we came up with 3. And now Arnie V, he's a 4th.
Jason Earl, David Day with you here at Ambrose Urbanic Field. Second game of the season for the Pitt Panthers, coming off a 2-0 win Thursday night over number 16 Georgetown. And 20-1 shots advantage for Pitt over Mercyhurst here. Next game for the Panthers on Friday. They go to Penn State. 7 o'clock game in State College.
Yeah, that matchup was a good one here last year. It was 1-1, good rivalry game. Villamijana getting forward a bit more, getting some more of that action. Mercyhurst got a nice little trip coming up. They go to San Diego and Irvine, California to play San Diego State and UC Irvine at the weekend. So nice trip for them. They return to Pittsburgh to play Robert Morris a week later.
Another corner from Feitosa. Grenning looking for Bertrand off the volley. Pops to Feitosa, goal!
That's the one they needed right there. Feitosa getting his account opened up for the season. The captain finishing very nicely into the bottom right corner. Beats the goalie, who's done well tonight, but he was no match for that Feitosa effort. Mercyhurst couldn't clear their lines. Feitosa waiting in the wings, drives it home. Beautiful finish. Now the Panthers can exhale. Nice exclamation point on this performance. They've controlled the ball. They've been a lot more explosive towards goal the second half, and now they have their reward, their second goal of this second half. And that might just put Mercyhurst to the sword.
Really well struck ball by Guilherme Feitosa.
And Feitosa's a key one for this team this season. I mean, we've seen flashes of his brilliance over the course of his career at Pitt so far. But if he's able to do that sort of stuff consistently, he is going to have an excellent 2024 season. And I'm really excited to see him build off that goal, this performance, and his involvement in this Pitt team to this point.
Guilherme Feitosa certainly had a productive career here with the Pitt Panthers, but statistically, to this point, his freshman year, his best season. Burst onto the scene with 5 goals and 6 assists. And while he's contributed in other ways, has not quite lived up to the goal and assist count he posted his first season. But through 2 games, wearing the captain's armband, looking like could have something special for his senior year.
Yeah, really good couple games under his belt. Now a goal to show for it. And that's the type of stuff that just grows your confidence and helps you go from strength to strength. Some changes for the Panthers. I see Josh Vicek, number 18, has entered the game in central midfield. Mateo Stoker, number 20, also on the field in midfield. Eben McIntyre playing left wing, making his season debut. So the Panthers continue to show their depth. Louis Samkow has returned to action at centre forward position. He's playing sort of alongside Thorson.
David, I wanted to mention during your earlier points on the depth of this iteration of the Pitt Panthers, it really kind of just seems like there's position battles all over the pitch, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and not just at certain positions, but you've got guys that can play multiple positions, and so the competition for spots is really intense. But it seems like it's a positive for the Panthers. There's a good spirit amongst the camp. There's a good focus on the job at hand. And I think just having that type of positional flexibility and depth among your roster is really an asset. And I think it's something that they really missed last year. I don't think they were sort of prepared to lose as many of the talented pieces that they did in 2023. They weren't able to necessarily replace them, and some of those guys you just can't necessarily replace overnight. Sometimes people have to grow into those roles, accepting greater responsibility. But I really think the pieces they've added for this season play a massive complement to the pieces that were already here.
And Jay Vidovich now able to get some of his substitutes on the field. Eben McIntyre collects it there on the left wing. Joshua Vicek, number 18 in white. Mateo Stoker, number 20.
But now it's important for these guys that getting their first taste of the action for the season, that they don't let up the intensity, the pace of play, make sure they're taking advantage of their opportunities. Take advantage of your 10, 15 minutes to show what you can do and earn more time the next time out. Gain the confidence of the coaching staff. See, Noah Hall has come on to play right wing.
Good to see Hall and Stoka, especially, David, because Jay Vidovich mentioned to us those are two in particular who he really has seen bright spots and potential throughout their careers at Pitt, but just haven't been able to really stay healthy at times. And now to see them both on the field together, excited to see what they can bring.
Yeah, Hall suffered a nasty injury last year, so he's done well to recover and return. They really think highly of that young man, and so it's going to be good to see him out there and see if he can impose his will on this action. See, Tim Biolin has come in up top as well, playing alongside Samkow. The young German is on the field. But, you know, I was curious at halftime what adjustments were going to be made, and we've seen them play out here. Pitt choosing to go with a more attacking formation and forego the extra man at the back to get more overload situations. They've really been dynamic across that front line to be able to give Mercyhurst some different looks and challenge them in different ways this second half. It's led to more scoring opportunities and 2 goals. So I think the adjustments for Pitt have really been the key to imposing their will on this game, not just in possession, but on the score sheet.
Have not seen Michael Sullivan since halftime. Worth noting, of course, impressive performances from him on the Panthers defensive line through 2 games.
Saw Vicek score in a preseason game against Maryland. He's definitely a guy with some great skills. Columbus Crew Academy product. He is originally from Pittsburgh, but has been with the Crew Academy for a number of years. I believe he came out of the Penn Trafford School District, played for Allegheny Force as a youngster.
McIntyre weaving on the left side and thwarted away.
There you see Vicek working to break up the Mercyhurst attack. Nice cut back there by Byerlin.
Sorensen and the Panthers probing and mistouched by Byerlin.
Yeah, he's been active since he come on, getting into some dangerous positions, just not quite able to convert or get a final touch on it. I like that cutback he showed us a minute ago. He's another one that the coaching staff's excited about, a young German fella. Vicek keeps seeming to find the ball. That's a good quality of a player, finding the ball, often in the midfield.
So, David, you mentioned his performance in the exhibition against Maryland. You've now seen Pitt in that one Thursday night against Georgetown and here tonight against Mercyhurst. What are your takeaways through 3 games about this Pitt side for the 2024 campaign?
I mean, solid is the first word, just efficiency, you know, the style of play, being able to be productive. I haven't seen any of the breakdowns that I saw last season. You know, they've been a complete team for 90 minutes of games, you know, and that's been impressive to see. You don't necessarily see weak points to this point in time. And granted, that's the name of the game, is to find ways to break down your opponent, but they've been tested in different ways, and I think that they've found solutions. Great depth that has been on display. So far so good. Obviously they're going to continue to be tested. They're looking to prepare themselves for the ACC schedule. Guys have been earning time. I'd like to see a little bit more quality or finishing in the final third perhaps. But I think, you know, tonight they were forced into situations where they really had to break Mercyhurst down against a resolute defensive team, and they've found a way to do so.
Sorensen there to defend a run from the Lakers. That gives Mercyhurst its second corner of the night. Pittsburgh was the only Division I team to reach the national quarterfinal each year from 2020 to 2022. And of course that streak came to an end last year with the first round exit. But a program that is now in the hunt on an annual basis. 5 consecutive NCAA tournament bids. In swinging corner, Byerlin got the first head. And Stoka tripped up in the box.
I think the other thing, Jason, that I'd like to mention about a difference from last year to this year is, looks like the ref wants to go have a look at something. The other thing I've seen as a big difference between last year to this year is, to me, they look more cohesive and solid at the back. You know, so I think they have more defensive options. Having 2 left-back options, Svenby coming in, playing right back. You know, Gilman's been able to play right back. You've got 3, 4 solid centre-back options, and that's a big difference. You know, I thought last year they were a bit shaky at the back at times, switched off a couple times, or gave up bad goals at key moments. And not to say it's impossible, but you just don't necessarily see it out there. I think they've snuffed out stuff. You see, you know, the speed of Sorensen, a nice addition. Gamboa Gonzalez coming in, being able to play centre back. Svenby's really been impressive at right back.
And what stands out to me is among those guys you named, David, Sorensen, freshman, Gamboa Gonzalez, freshman, and Michael Sullivan, who's never played the position before. And those are some of the ones stepping up early on here.
Yeah. So definitely nice options for the Panthers. We mentioned the depth in terms of attacking sense, but also developing that depth across the back line. We'll see what the ref's going to do here. Free kick to Pitt coming out. So it looks like Pitt will be able to close this one out, and that's the other piece. You know, if score holds, two shutouts to start the season, pair of 2-0 wins, and you can't ask for much more than that. And granted, the opponents have been pretty different, but you know, Pitt had everything to lose in this matchup. You know, Mercyhurst was coming in here with nothing to lose. Obviously, they had a strong game plan from a really defensive standpoint to jam up the Panthers, and I think that's part of the challenge that Pitt's done a good job with tonight.
And Stoka has taken the brunt of a lot of the late physicality from Mercyhurst.
I mean, Mercyhurst has been physical all night long, and credit to them for that as part of the ways that you disrupt your opponent. And they've really got after it, and I don't mean that in a dirty way. I think they've just really worked hard to disrupt their opponent, to, you know, make them uncomfortable on the ball, to break up those passing lanes, to, you know, put pressure on people. And so they've put in a good account of themselves this evening.
Mentioned Mercyhurst starting off the year on the road, 9 straight games, and the trip to California coming next. That game at San Diego State is on Thursday night.
That'll be a real challenge for him, coming from the PSAC, going to the Northeast Coast Conference and flying to California for games. And to be honest, we're going to see the same thing for the Panthers this year with the additions to the ACC of SMU and Stanford and Cal. So Pitt's got some road trips coming their way as well.
That's right, and in fact, Pitt's first official ACC game of the season is at SMU in Dallas on September 7th. And they'll come back home, take on Louisville September 13th on a Friday night.
Now you see the Lakers putting pressure in the Pitt 6-yard box.
Cross in and ends up in the back of the net, but not before a whistle. And a push in the back called against Mercyhurst. Lakers thought they put one on the board there. Still a minute 20 left here, David.
Yeah, it wasn't to be for Mercyhurst getting on the score sheet there. Definitely they had a nice moment of pressure in the box from the set piece. Referee saw a push and gave the free kick.
Long through ball, too much on it for McIntyre. So as the time winds down here at Ambrose Urbanic Field, David, Pittsburgh with back-to-back 2-0 victories. And they're going to start the 2024 season with a 2-0 record.
Yeah, nice start to the season for Pitt, and they'll be feeling good about themselves going into Penn State next weekend.
A 2-0 victory for the Pitt Panthers.